You're gonna want to see this.
Angela and I were married.
Tying the knot with John? Not now, not in the 70s, not ever.
咦？你記唔記得啊？一開個着火嗰度咧，火燭嗰度咧，我同男主角嗰陣望出個門定窗，又係見到呢條車胎，我醒起嚟㗎。哇！再望多次會唔會見到咧？又唔嗨到咯。係啊，呢間我係俾火燒嗰間，唔肯定係咪？睇個間隔似，睇屋企個間隔似係着火嗰間屋。差唔多齊人啦喎。開唔開好？唔開住。誒，嚇佢嗰種喎，當時。仲唔係男主角嗰隻？ 咦，唔係喎。我而家唔開門呢，就冇得開噶啦。係咯，而家支錘仔又唔喺度喎。頭先本身有錘仔頂咗喺度啊嘛。我懷疑係 bug 嚟嘅，嗰一幕佢哋冇整走個錘仔。咁即係佢哋會衝入嚟，我覺得唔好咁多手啦。但我覺得唔開又會後悔喎。好，貓樹。
What was that?
Gotta be the girl. Let's go find her. She's in here.
What the hell?
Stay here.
Andrew, what's going on?
He knows I was about to confess all to the judge.
No, wait.
You protect me. You must.
Wait, this isn't right. No way.
I assure all gathered here today that our town will be free of the devil's grasp. Together, by God's grace, little hope will prevail. My word on it.
This court is hastily convened, but with good reason. If we are to finally rid ourselves of the evil which has infested Little Hope, then we must act today. I accuse you, Mary, of witchcraft. What say you, Reverend?
The evidence, as discovered through my investigation, is beyond question. Mary uses her puppet as a familiar to summon and serve the devil.
序章係冇 Taylor。
We have been deceived by a child, by her guise of innocence. This puppet was mistakenly used to denounce Tabitha, but it has always belonged to Mary and Mary alone. She allowed her own kin to be executed as she watched in silence.
That is not so. Liar!
Now this take, child. This creature of Satan has the marrow to accuse me, a man of God, of wrongdoing.
This is crazy. These people have lost their freaking minds.
It was never my intention to bring harm to this town or its people. Can you not help me?
What can I do? If I could do something to stop this, I would, but...
Now in her hour of greatest need,
I don't
this
see
child
how.
of the damned pleads once more for the devil's help.
I beg the court's indulgence. Please guide me at this time. I seek your counsel. We have to stop this. The only madness is right here in this court. Carver, he's the evil one. We have been swayed by malice. The truth hidden from us, but not by Mary. Reverend Carver is the one urging us to believe in the devil.
Be silent.
This is all
You'll
his
not deceive
doing.
us any longer. Your true purpose is plain to see. I will see this town purged of all evil.
You're messing this up. Carver isn't the one you should be calling out.
What must I do to bring Little Hope back into the light? I fear the Reverend and what he is capable of.
唔通真係隻公仔？但一開頭係咯，圍住個火跳舞跳儀式係真係呢個靚妹跳嘅喎。
You have to stop Carver. It's him, don't you get it? He's condemning Mary to take the heat off himself. I know what must be done here.
Be still. What is the meaning of this outrage?
What I have just learned sickens me to my core. There are serious questions which must be asked of you. How can a man of God conduct himself in such a way? Mary, your suffering is at an end. You are free to leave.
Fool! Misled by a child! Do you not see what she is? The truth stares at you from the depths of hell, yet you see nothing. The devil's daughter has deceived you all. Not me. I see her. I see her! Satan's whore! You will pay heavily for your crimes. I was one of the first to fall under your spell. Now all of Little Hope is mesmerized by you.
佢又演到咁真嘅喂！我好似 feel 到好似奶奶啲嘢。
But you, I would be dead. You saved me. I shall remember you all my days.
隻 game 好似引導我去揀唔燒隻公仔。
You did it. It worked.
It did?
100% you made the right call. That jerk of a priest was the real bad guy.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I should feel great. But I don't. I feel nothing.
Come on. Let's get out of here.
成堆怪入晒嚟啦。
You look pleased. What just happened?
We're all done here.
唔係喎，爆機喎！天光咯喎！哦，真係 Taylor。哦，會唔會係我升爆咗呢啲鎖，佢哋就唔使死？係啦，暗白包就係冇搞掂個鎖，所以就死。跟住 Daniel 又係。
Hey! I'm real sorry. I know it wasn't your fault. Both of us been through some real tough time these past years.
哦，失咗憶。
About half a mile or so, there's a diner with a working phone. You call for help and you leave this place. Don't you ever come back.
Ain't nothing left here for you.
I'm real sorry for what I've put you all through.
男主角失咗呢個，所以佢以為火燭係發緊夢，
You're not
一
alone.
開波
Take it easy on yourself.
You know, right?
Finally getting out of this hell.
Blame yourself.
哦，
I just wish we all could have made it.
We're diverting all traffic through Little Hope. You okay, buddy? You seem a little confused.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just want to get these folks to where they need to be.
I doubt a short delay will trouble him too much.
真係估唔到男主角就係個司機喎。雖然估到係第四嘅時間線。
Can everyone just shut up? This isn't helping us find help or getting us out of here.
全部都係因為佢黐咗線。
Hi there. How you doing? Excuse me, but we're looking for our bus driver.
What?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, that's funny. Sounds like you could use a drink.
Better not, thanks. Need a clear head. Anything you can do to help us would be greatly appreciated.
There's no goddamn us.
即係佢一個人分別飾演5個角色，精神分裂。
Hurry up! What the hell is going on in there?
Get the hell out of here!
I'll go once I look you in the eye. Now let me in! Hey!
I don't think he gets how bad a mess we're in.
呢個劇本咪正正常常。呢隻本咪幾好，咪100分。呢個劇本100分啦，絕對。跟住而家自唔自殺？如果射晒5飛，佢就冇得自殺。 應該都係憑空想像出嚟。
Game over. You're done. For now, at least. You could always try again, see if you can get a different result. That's the problem with demons. If you don't lay them to rest, they will haunt you forever. Not a bad effort. Some found redemption, some didn't. All your doing. And you eventually found him. The bus driver. Maybe he can now put the past behind him. Till we meet again. Maybe in the South Pacific, or the Arabian deserts, or somewhere else. But we will meet again. At least one more time.
又有 trailer 睇啦。 應該有其他 ending， 一定有。佢淨係想歸車嗰張相同埋開槍自殺都冇，呢兩 part 都冇。
Won't you spare me over for another year?
係咯，好多嘢都冇交代。
I've come to get your soul to leave your body and leave it cold. To drop the flesh right off of your frame. The earth and worms both have their claim. Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over for another year?
係咯，同埋最後嗰張相又係代表啲咩咧？有個靚女跌咗落山崖。
Oh death, consider my age. Pray do not take me at this stage. My wealth is all at your command, and you but move your icy hand. Oh death, oh death. Would you spare me over for another year?
係呢首歌好催眠，大佬。
Nor age, nor youth, nor silver, nor gold, nothing satisfies me but your soul.
好眼瞓，我一聽呢首歌。
Won't you spare me over for another year?
亂咁嚟啊！我就係覺得。
Won't you spare me over for another year?
Yeah, skip 啊！ 咦，下一個 trailer。
Absolutely not. We'll start believing. We are under attack by I don't know what. You wouldn't believe me even if I tried. Hell, I don't believe it and I was there.
Sumerian myth. They say the souls of the dead went deep underground to the House of Ashes, where they lived on dust, plagued by the demons of the underworld.
House of Ashes. Oh my god. 2021咯。我原來中間張相係下集嘅車架嚟嘅。爛到爆，好正！呢個我覺得真係可以俾100分。你睇下佢有冇同 trailer 有冇呃人。
Where are we?
We're near Little Hope.
Did you hear that?
What more proof is needed that the devil walks among us in Little Hope?
Extras 收集全部銅牌秘密、銀牌秘密。
I just saw someone in the woods. Okay, very good. We're freaked. Who's there?
Whoever you are, this isn't funny at all.
The demons are an integral part of the story of Little Hope. It's the crux of a lot of the things that happen, and that informs a large part of what we're doing. The starting point for each of the demons was the style of execution. They're based on a character that gets killed. That then informs how the character behaves, how it moves, how it sounds, and those are all brought together to give us that convincing, terrifying demon.
In order to make convincing demons, you need to ground them in nature. So what we do is we use our understanding of anatomy and our deep understanding of biomechanics and the principles of the way things move and the way things actuate, and we apply this to the demon design. We obviously start with the production design. The production design is a drowned demon. What we need to do then is look for extra reference. We have to look at stuff like autopsies. We'd look at what happens to the skin when it gets exposed to water for a long time. We have to look at creatures from underwater. We look at various types of fish. Loads of images and real-world reference helps, although it's slightly gruesome.
This particular demon we're looking at is the one that's been hung. We didn't want to show the whole of this character, and right from the beginning we said, let's focus on the areas which are the most terrifying. And so the overall silhouette of the character was to be like this twisted rope. Her limbs had coiled, and so we were exaggerating the metaphor of this hanging. 1,000 years had been trailed along the ground. It had worn away her feet, the bones being worn down, the nails being broken off. She'd been in pain for a long time. The most key of all of the elements was the face and how we framed that, and that was that broken, twisted neck, one eye remaining, a tear coming out because it's that last remains of her soul. The noose was digging into her neck, and her tongue was actually so bloated and grown that actually became a feature for us in the game, that tongue actually becomes a grapple to get hold of some of the characters.
To animate a demon, we would start with looking at how they walk or move forward. Some of them are dragging themselves, and then also how they would attack their victims, just flesh out the layout and the choreography of it. Mocap is a big help. Obviously, it's a lot faster than keyframing from scratch. So we decided to use it as a base for some of them, and then we would layer on top of that all the characteristics that bring them to life, even though they're dead.
完全要自己靠自己想像個場景嚟做戲。
So that is going to be completely hand animated. So that meant we were really starting from scratch. All the other demons, we did use actors' footage. So we have a lot of actors with spikes tied to them, limping across the scene.
Let's get the fuck out of here!
On the Broke Demon, we asked the actor to use various props to try and achieve the sort of movement that we wanted. And I think he did a great job. It was really successful. We've had to, again, add on to that to help with the weight and the believability.
We take our initial cues for the sound of the demons from the visuals, and they look fantastic. But then we have to take the sound of the demons beyond the visuals to give them a really strong otherworldly presence. We need each of the demons to be individually recognisable whilst maintaining that uncomfortable unfamiliarity for the player. So at distance you might hear the chains clanking or the vocal screams. But when you get close up to the demons, you hear lots of detail, the cracking of skin, the creak of the chains, the breaths or the sound of the icky vomit. We really want the player to feel the breath through the sound of the demon on their face.
Angela, no!
When we're thinking about the camera work for the demons, one thing that was really at the forefront of my mind was trying not to show too much, trying not to lose all restraint, and I think that's a really easy trap to fall into with CG in general, and especially with games that you've got all these monsters that you've built and you've spent a lot of time working on, and it's really easy just to go straight to putting everything on screen. But thinking back to some classic horrors, classic monster movies, a lot of times there the directors had to use a lot of restraint and just show little bits and pieces because they didn't have that kind of budget or that kind of effect to really make it convincing. And there's something about that I really like that I wanted to bring back to Little Hope. So when I was directing the camera team, I asked them to show little bits, little glimpses, a clawed hand here, a shadow on the wall there, the chains rattling, whatever the key characteristics were of that demon. The interesting thing with that is that I think sometimes your imagination as a viewer fills in the blanks in a far more terrifying way than we really could. So we tried to build up that suspense, working up to this big reveal where you finally see full on in the light this thing that's been hunting you down in all its gross, horrific glory. With the demon scenes, lighting definitely had a key part to play as well. It had to work complementary to what we wanted to do with the cameras, but also there's some very specific things you can do with lighting that really lent itself to this task. So one of the big ones was the use of silhouettes. The demons have interesting shapes. They're very unusual, you know, these humanoid creatures all distorted, and we wanted to use that.
今集有冇咩嘅？上次一入嚟就即刻冇得直播，即刻斷咗個直播。
Silhouettes, as you can have this nice separation with a brighter background and then have the creature dark in the foreground. It was a nice way to make them feel even more gross than they really were.
The Little Hope narrative is extremely multi-layered, and the demons not only represent the tortured souls of the characters, but they also represent the psychological trauma that humans can obtain through witnessing traumatic events. So when the game opens, the main character is witnessing these traumatic events. We underscore this with really strong male Gregorian choir, which we use later in the game when the demons are attacking, to really strengthen and reference that psychological trauma with the tormented souls of the characters.
Run! Now!
The broken demon's the most terrifying because of the way it moves. It's really unsettling because you can't anticipate where it's going to go next. All the limbs are breaking and it's all moving in a really erratic way. So if you were to try and escape from it, you wouldn't know where to go because it might go there or it might go over here. So that's the most terrifying in terms of unpredictability, I suppose, and having a deep effect on your psyche.
Interestingly, when you work at Supermassive, you get immune to horror. That's one thing I've definitely noticed. The powers of horror somehow get lost in me every time I'm watching a horror movie. I don't get so scared anymore just because I see this stuff every day. But doing those demon scenes, I must admit, even watching them back, it was always like fairly distressing and fairly horrific. So hopefully some of that comes across in the experience for the player too.
剪片有排搞啊！唔太細張。一定有更好 ending，起碼佢男主角後邊嗰堆嘢都冇。